choices.
Grow up,
What
Peter Pan.
What if you have a kid in tow?
It's stupid. We don't know anything about maple syrup.
I happen to know everything there is to know about maple syrup. I love maple syrup.
If you're driving yourself to the game, can't bring it.
Come on. Chase is 15. I think he'd still want to bring a glove.
Yeah.
Again, if you're sitting in prime home run catching spots.
Sure, but I'm just saying, the minute he starts taking himself to games, that's when the line is. That's when you cross the line.
A little bit.
Grow up, Peter Pan. Count Chocula. Look, we've been to 1 million weddings, and guess what? Rocked them all.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamorro. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight. He ain't doing nothing but running his mouth. Talk about it, we all about it. They making plans, we sit and count. Our chairs stacking just like a mountain. You heard about it, she running her mouth. She wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight. He ain't doing nothing but running.
This is one of those days, Gabe Neitzel, Josh DiMaggio, where I wish Mark Chamorro was here.
Okay.
He is the resident doctor, after all. I feel if I have questions about the body,
Correct.
he is the one that can help us out the most.
He's got all the answers.
The rest of us are just kind of floundering. We're kind of doggy paddling through this pool.
WebMD. Why would I need WebMD when I've got Chewy MD?
WebMC. I don't know if that worked. MC
You took a
Mark
shot.
Chamorro. So yesterday, I am out to lunch with my husband and our youngest daughter. We usually pick her up from school 11:30, and the three of us go grab lunch. This is the last year we're going to be able to do that because she's in half day now. Next year she'll be in school, like full day school. So we're trying to soak up as much of this time with her as possible. So every day we try to go out to lunch, and yesterday we are leaving the lunch spot, and I got a case of the sneezels.
Okay. That's happened before here.
Are you familiar with my sneezels?
I do believe so Dario, your husband, will say, God bless you 2 or 3 times.
After that, I'm on my own.
After that, you're on your own.
Yeah, you assume that the God bless you extends to all of the rest of the sneezes. I think I've gone up to like 26, 27 in
Dear
a row.
Lord.
I know. So that's when he's like,
How are you even functioning at 24?
yeah, or 13.
Yeah,
or
it's-
I mean,
I
like,
can't. It's
most people sneeze how many times, Joshy, in a row?
It's usually 2, isn't it? 2, 3?
I think it's 2, 3.
I mean, I think my personal streak might be 4.
Oh,
Like nowhere near. The
I'm real
ballpark
nervous
that
about
Jen's
you. Yeah, I'm real
operating.
nervous about you catching my record. So this is a thing that has happened for me for years. When I start sneezing, I just keep sneezing. And so we're sitting there, and I'm on I don't even know yesterday. I didn't get up to 24, but it was like probably in the 11, 12 range. And Dario looks over at me and says, "Oh my gosh," like the eureka light bulb. Bing. I know why you're sneezing so much.
He's not a doctor like Chewy, so I don't trust him, but continue.
He says, "You're sneezing through your mouth. You have to sneeze through your nose." I said, "What?"
Excuse me?
He said, "Everybody knows that sneezes are because something is tickling the hairs in your nose. And the only way to stop sneezing is to expel what is in your nose. And the only way to do that is to sneeze through your nose." So I am continuing to sneeze, and mid-sneeze, I'm like, "You're insane." Everybody knows you sneeze through your mouth. So now we're back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. He looks it up, has some doctor talking about some stuff about nose expelling and all that. And I was like, yeah, I don't believe you. Because everyone I know sneezes through their mouth. Am I crazy to argue that people don't sneeze through their nose, they sneeze through their mouth?
Where do you think the achoo sound comes from?
Yeah.
Ain't the nose.
What a skill, if you can.
I mean, yes.
Achoo through your nostrils,
I
though.
would love to see and or hear that if you are somebody who can do that. But no, you sneeze. No parent, again, I'm not one, but plenty of times as a child, I had my parents tell me to what when I'm sneezing.
Cover your mouth.
Wasn't covering my nose.
I know. Just so you know, I used that exact argument, and he said, "No, you're confusing sneezes with coughs." people cover their mouth when they cough.
You use your wing. I mean, and now I know because again, my
Use your wing. I love that you just did. He's chicken winging over. Na 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 na.
But I mean, both of my sisters working in like the child care school like arena, both having children themselves. I've heard them tell their kids when I've been around enough, hey, you got to use your wing. You know, like before, like when I was growing up, covering your mouth with your hand was good enough. Turns out that's disgusting.
Well, because then what are you doing with the hand?
Correct.
You're touching all the things.
Exactly. So, you know, they say, you know, use your wing. You know, you're sneezing into your elbow wing there.
Right. So again, I was defending mouth sneezing because that's what I think most people do.
No. Just call it sneezing. All right. Like I don't want to like.
You're saying don't even entertain the idea that it is mouth sneezing versus nose sneezing.
Correct. Sneezing is what you do through your mouth. If you want to sneeze through your nose, go ahead. But
don't bastardize the sneeze.
That's Diet Coke, all right? Like I am doing regular Coke sneezing and just sneezing through my mouth, right? Like that's what that is. It's not mouth sneezing. You don't have to call it regular Coca-Cola. No, you just say, "Hey, I'll have a Coca-Cola."
I have some questions about Dario. What is?
Now, reminder, this is only a 2-hour show. Segments are about 12 minutes a pop. I don't know if we're going to have enough time to address them all.
When he sneezes, you've been around him quite a bit, I imagine. Probably quite a few sneezes at
Snot
that.
rockets is basically what you're getting at, right?
Yeah. Is he just expelling snot everywhere? But also, like, we understand how the respiratory system works, that the nose and the mouth typically go to the same place. So, like, yeah, I've had a sneeze and something gross comes out of the nose. You can't really control it. But when you do the chew, as we talked about, that's always the mouth. And
right.
Like, what is he suggesting that you out to lunch with your wonderful daughter and himself, who I can't say nice things about right now, should just start expelling snot and boogies through your nose?
Wait, so is he just keeping his mouth closed when he has to, like, that can't be good for you. There's a lot of force. Like, famously, you can't sneeze and keep your eyes open. There's a lot of force coming, you know, when you sneeze.
There must be somebody in the ear, mouth, and throat space out there that can help us through this and just give us a definitive response about this. Now, maybe, I'm willing to admit this, there might be a bit of a plus situation going on here. Maybe it's mouth plus nose. But I'm willing to bet that the percentage, the breakdown, if you had to cut the pie, slice the pie like we have done here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy many times, I'm guessing you're slicing the pie 70-30?
Oh, yeah.
80-20?
As Josh said, every once in a while when I have a sneeze, especially if you're, you know, flu and cold season that we experience here in Wisconsin, if I sneeze, yeah, something comes out of my nose. But that's every once in a while. Mm-hmm. You know what happens 100% of the time that I sneeze? There's something coming out of my mouth, which is, again, why you need to cover your mouth when you sneeze.
800-990-3776. My husband and I got into a funny debate yesterday in the car on the way home from lunch as I was going through an episode of The Sneezels, and he said, I know why you're doing it wrong. You're sneezing through your mouth. You have to sneeze through your nose.
I love that it was like a eureka. Like
totally
I
was.
solved it.
He did. That's exactly what it was. Sherlock Holmes over here, you know?
Like he discovered gravity.
Encyclopedia Brown, you know?
I got it.
Wait a second.
This all makes so much... Is he... And I don't know how deep the conversation got, but was he... Because, like, when you sneeze, the feeling is typically in your sinuses, which feels like your nose. So I can understand him being like, that's where it generates from, is your nose. But I've never once been like, oh, I'm sneezing, so I'm shooting out feeling from my nose. I don't know if that's how that works.
Yeah, whatever the thing is that is tingling or tickling your nose hairs, I've never thought of it actually as like a physical thing. Because for me, it's oftentimes sense. Like something is strong and it'll affect my nose. It's not like a cartoon where you inhale a fleck of pepper and all of a sudden you're like, you know, now I'm picturing the cat and its nose is lifting lifting and lifting and then expelling the fleck of pepper. That's not what's happening here. For me, it's usually a smell that has kind of like bothered me, and I'm trying to get that scent out of, like you said, the sinuses or whatever the area is back there. 800-990-3776. Looking for a doctor or an ear, nose, and throat specialist this morning. Somebody who can tell us definitively if you
any sort of ENT, please.
Exactly. Is there a doctor in the car who can tell us if a sneeze is from your mouth or from your nose? Because my husband yesterday, and I love him to death for trying to workshop and solve my sneezing problem, says I'm sneezing wrong because I'm sneezing through my mouth. I need to sneeze through my nose. That would make it so I'm not sneezing, 24 times in a row. And I just looked at him and was like, what? So I'm just shooting snot rockets now? Is that what we're talking about here?
So the reason why you're struggling when you're running these long distances now, you're breathing through your nose. You need to do it through your eyelids. Everybody knows this.
800-990-3776. It is possible. The sneeze is one of those things. It is so reactionary. You don't really think about it at all. So then what I found myself doing was thinking about the sneeze as it was happening. Like, where is it originating? Where is it and what is the path that the sneeze is taking? And I got to tell you guys, they are so violent. I can't imagine sneezing exclusively through my nose. I think I would blow my nose right off. I don't think that, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, I think that there's too much pressure. There's too much force that it would rip open my nostrils. I don't know, for lack of a better term. I don't know.
I'm gripped by the idea that you at this point in your life had just been sneezing wrong forever. When I sneeze, I'm not necessarily thinking about anything more than cover my mouth. Sometimes if you've got a cold, like Gabe says, you cover the nose too. You're trying to keep it all in there. But
that's why the wing is very
it's very much not like a voluntary process. You're kind of just reacting.
Which is why I hate sneezing when I'm driving. I've told you guys that. It's one of my biggest fears is you're in the car and your eyes are shut. And then your eyes are shut again. Yeah. And then, that feels like roulette to me.
So let's take this to the next step. Did you guys then have a conversation of how you have to teach your daughter how to sneeze appropriately?
So that's the thing. Do you need to learn how to sneeze? No.
No.
It's one of those things that the body just does.
Correct.
So I think I am right.
You're not wrong. I'll tell you that right now. I feel very strongly about that.
As much as I appreciate my husband trying to doctor me through what he perceives to be a real serious ailment every time I have a case of the sneezels, I don't think it's because I'm not sneezing primarily through my nose. 800-990-3776. Let's go out to Jeff in East Troy. Jeff wants to help us with our little situation this morning. Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning, gang. Hope you guys are having a great morning. I just remember watching shows and horror movies and even cartoons. If someone's about to sneeze and they don't want to, they put their finger underneath their nose, and that prevents them from sneezing.
It's a very good point.
But taking it more seriously, I do believe it's a both thing. And when I sneeze and I feel something in my nose, it does come out of my nose. I think Dari is kind of right also, that if you are only coming out of your mouth, you're probably not getting rid of the cause of what's wanting you to sneeze.
But also, I don't think that Jen is just exclusively sneezing out of her mouth. Again, like you said, I think it's a both thing. Yeah. If you're
maybe,
I don't think you can turn off the nose portion.
Well, that's the thing. Like, what am I doing?
There's no let me reach back there.
Right. I'm thinking of like a gas line right now, right? Like we have a gas line in our house, goes out to the grill, obviously goes to the furnace and whatnot, but it has that little lever on it. Yeah. If it's up and down or if it's flat. There is no lever. There is no, what do you call those? Valve? Is it a valve?
Yes.
There's no on and out off valve for the nose. So I feel like, again, this is just an instinctive behavior, an instinctive reaction. Is it possible I've been sneezing wrong my whole life? I suppose, especially if nobody's ever said anything before.
No, I'm going to say we take that off the table. I don't think you've been sneezing incorrectly. I don't think there's an incorrect way to sneeze.
Justin weighing in saying, Dario is right. The purpose of the sneeze is to clear your nasal passages. There is so much pressure. You can't expel all the air through your nose. It has to go through your mouth as well.
Augie weighing in was right there.
Augie weighing in saying, with the force of a sneeze, if you strictly sneeze through your nose, it will go to to your ears and you could blow your eardrums out. You have to release it through the mouth. So again, we're taking your responses this morning on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, 800-990-3776. Is it a mouth? Is it a nose? It sounds like a both.
Yeah,
it sounds
again,
like we've got a both thing happening for a lot of people
as
out
Josh pointed out, the respiratory system, it's all kind of connected, much like you can breathe through your nose or breathe through your mouth. It's all connected to the same thing inside your body. So yeah, it's a little bit of a both thing. But again, I think you think of sneezing through your mouth.
I also don't think, no matter how hard Jen tried, she could stop the sneeze from coming through her nose. So it's going to happen regardless. I understand, people are saying, yes, it's something in your sinuses. It needs to be expelled. There's an evolutionary process for that. But short of plugging your nose, I don't think you could stop it.
Seems like a dangerous thing based on the one texter.
Yeah. So short of, going through special methods to stop it going through your nose, that's just going to happen.
Rob weighing in on our YouTube page. Remember, you can always stream the show on our YouTube page, on ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube page. He says most time before a sneeze, if you cover your nose, it will go away. Is that true?
Yes,
I don't.
That's the
That's the
gate.
finger?
It's basically you're tricking your mind. It's the gate theory is what it's called. I'm looking it up here, where it's the gate control theory of pain. Nerves communicate with each other via interneurons before sending their message to the brain. The interneurons are the gate. So basically, you're just tricking yourself. The sneeze doesn't go away. You've just fooled your brain.
See, I feel like as a kid, because in every, like the caller had said, every cartoon you've ever seen, and, hijinks are happening as they're trying to, sneak up on something. Of course, somebody's going to sneeze. It's going to be so loud, and they do the finger thing. I feel like I tried doing that as a kid with 0% success. I can't imagine that's an actual
There's a joke
thing.
in there about Gabe doing the finger thing as a kid. But it's 7:16, so we'll move on. 800-990. Your reaction. Here's what we're going to put on the poll. Is a sneeze mostly through the mouth or through the nose? We're not even going to give you the both option. I want to know if it's mostly through the mouth or through the nose. Because my husband told me yesterday the reason I am sneezing so many times in a row is because essentially I am doing it wrong. I am sneezing through the mouth instead of the nose. If I sneeze through the nose, I wouldn't have the issues that I have, which is sneezing, dozens of times in a row. A lot of stuff to get to this morning on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Did you see the Brewers win last night? Willy Adames calling his shot. Love that. We also have some bets for you in the Packers land. Which of these bets we're going to present to you would you be most willing to put $10 on? We'll get into that. Plus Sophia Minert and Adam Schefter this morning on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Stick around.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
We do have some backups along westbound 94. Coming out of the Marquette interchange, heading towards Mitchell Boulevard. There's a broken down vehicle off on the right shoulder there, too. Eastbound 94, slowing down from 84th Street all the way to Holly Road, then through the Stadium interchange. Northbound 43, slowing down from just north of North Avenue up to Keefe. Southbound side slowing from Hampton down to Capitol Drive. Traffic is brought to you by the Club at Lac La Belle. The historic course is open to the public 7 days a week. Schedule your tee time at club@laclabelle.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, partly cloudy skies and afternoon lake breeze. A high of 71 at the lake, 75 inland tonight. Showers developing with a low of 47. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
The Volrath Company implemented a DocuWare content management solution from James Imaging Systems. Volrath Director of Information Systems, John Sharp.
They've helped us upgrade from a previous version of our document management to automate our accounts payable processes, to store the invoices, to the three-way match, and really streamline those processes.
In addition to a DocuWare content management solution, the key to continued success is the James Imaging Systems Solutions Group.
And as an extension of our team, they've got intimate knowledge of why we've done some of the things that we do. And when we run into any issues, they're there to support us.
A DocuWare content management solution from the James Imaging Systems Solutions Group.
They know exactly where we are in our project cycle so that we've always got continuous improvement.
Content management and workflow automation from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Sarah, we're doing it again for Mother's Day.
We're doing it again? I can't believe we did it the first time.
It's a real rose.
An American Beauty rose.
Completely covered in pure 24-karat gold.
These are amazing!
Or you can get your rose covered in pink gold.
Real gold. Pure gold. And are you ready for this?
I'm never ready for this next part.
$99.
I need to lie down and put a cool rag on my forehead.
A full-size American Beauty rose preserved forever in pure gold.
Wait a minute.
Okay, we're waiting.
Can I buy 2 of them?
Of course.
Wait.
Okay.
Can I buy 3 of them and give 1 to my mom and 1 to my best friend and keep 1 for myself?
Of course you can, Sarah. This is America.
You'll find $99 full-size gold roses at Kessler's. Visit Kessler'sDiamonds.com to find the location nearest you.
Happy Mother's Day!
Suit up for the $800,000 Sports Car Series at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. April through May, score free play, cash, one of 4 new Toyota GR86s, or a new Toyota Supra. Play with your club card to earn entries, 5 times the entries on drawing days, and when the Milwaukee Brewers play at home. Got what it takes? Slugger, only at Potawatomi. For more details, visit paysbig.com/sportscar. Must be 21 and a club member to play.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Jen, has college football gotten a little sleazy? Where you can recruit a little? No, I'm saying from the standpoint, it used to be. That was good.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Don't change the show.
Dario has a lot of support here on the ESPN Milwaukee talk and text line saying that I am, in fact, sneezing wrong. I didn't think that you could sneeze wrong. I thought it was like just an involuntary thing that your body does. Like, I don't control it at all. Semi-autonomous convulsive expulsion of air from the lungs through the nose and mouth, usually caused by foreign particles irritating the nasal mucus. A sneeze expels air forcibly from the mouth and nose in an explosive spasmodic. I didn't even know spasmodic was a word.
Spasmodic.
See? Told you.
Why you didn't know it was a word?
Involuntary action. That from Chef Ed giving us the Wikipedia definition of sneeze. Kevin weighing in saying, my sneezes can be very violent. Like Jen, it is usually triggered by a smell. Sometimes I get the trifecta, nose, mouth, and I pass gas. Thanks, Kevin.
It happens sometimes.
I mean, again, like,
we said
you're
it was
losing all, control.
Spasmodic, right?
Spasmomatic?
It's like a toy.
Or is that something different?
It was like a toy you bought in the 70s. Keep letting us know. We put it on the poll. Are sneezes mostly mouth or mostly nose? Let's get to some Packers action. So there was a great article in Forbes by Rob Reichel, who's been covering the Packers for a very long time, talking about some of the bets that you can make on the Green Bay Packers. So we went to our friends over at Potawatomi Sportsbook to see what the odds are on these things. And it does feel like Packers are a big favorite, right? Whether you believe Devontae Adams, who has talked about watching Jordan Love and thinks he's one of the best in the league, or you keep seeing some of the experts around the country talk about how the Packers, they expect to be one of the best teams in the NFC. There's a lot of love around Jordan Love's team. So, Gabe, I got 3 bets here for you.
Okay.
Let's use the mostly universally palatable amount of $10. Okay? Most people can find $10. Maybe you skip your venti coffee from Starbucks or something like that. You got $10 that you could put on one of these things. Here they are. Jordan Love plus 1,400 for MVP. Packers plus 210 to win the NFC North. I'm assuming the Lions are the favorite there?
Correct.
Okay. Packers over 9.5 wins minus 134. Now, I think when I looked at the Packers' schedule, now the schedule is not officially out, but we know who they'll be playing this year.
Yes.
They got quite a few playoff teams that were in the playoffs last year that they will be facing this year. That's why that one has the minus 134 odds. Is there one of those three that jumps out to you right away that you'd be like, I could be convinced to put $10 on that bet today?
Yeah, so when I look at these, obviously, based on the odds, the one most likely to happen is over 9.5 wins. But when we're talking about the world of gambling, the value's not there. Like, I'm not getting, if I put down the $10, I'm not getting my $10.
I think you're getting like $7.50.
Yeah, it's not great. It's fine. But, like, if I'm looking to make the splash, like you typically do because you like chasing those long shots.
That's why I went to you. I figured it was very obvious which one of these I was going to do.
I think in terms of the best bang for your buck, I think the Packers winning the NFC North at plus 210 is the one that makes the most sense to me. I think they're winning over 10 games. I think they're going to be over 9.5. I think they're winning double-digit games. But again, the value's just not there. Jordan Love, as much as I love him, I think he's probably still a year away from truly being in that MVP conversation. So the one that makes the most sense to me in terms of making the best money on return is the NFC North. Because if the Packers win 10 games, like I think, that's going to be a tight race with the Lions. And maybe the Lions have an injury or the Packers are able to meet up with them later in the season and the NFL decides next week when they release the schedule, hey, Packers-Lions, that could be an NFC North championship game. Let's go ahead and put it in Week 18. So I think that one's probably the best bang for your buck.
For what it's worth, Patrick Mahomes begins the year as the favorite in the MVP odds. No big surprise there as he has now won 2 straight Super Bowls. C.J. Stroud is second. C.J. Stroud is second.
Yeah. He had a really good year last year.
Which is crazy because, again, he was not the one that many people thought was, obviously Bryce Young was the one that everybody thought was going to have the most success. And the Texans were a dumpster fire for so long.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people who were shocked at how quickly they were able to turn it around just by getting the quarterback position right. And again, it goes to that theory of that's why it's the most important position in the sport, because if you get the guy right, everything else kind of sort of just falls into place.
I mean, they had receiver. I mean, we don't need to break down the Texans, but yes, that was huge for them.
And then would it surprise you to know that Joe Burrow has the same odds to be the MVP as Jordan Love?
No, that doesn't surprise me. He's been in the league for a long time. He's coming back from an injury, and provided he stays healthy, like the only reason he's in Jordan Love's category to me is the injury questions. Otherwise, he would be ahead of Jordan Love. So there's potentially value there.
And then, of course, for people who are curious where Aaron Rodgers is, who's obviously coming off of that Achilles injury, but will be quarterbacking for the Jets, he is 10th in these odds at plus 2,000.
Can't help himself back there.
Ron in the Key weighing in saying the minus odds doesn't mean it's unlikely. It means it is likely. Yes, we know that, Ron. Did we say that we thought it was unlikely?
I said it was the most likely.
Yeah, that the Packers would win over 9.5 games? No, we're saying we think that's going to happen. We understand how the odds work. He just wrote, I think I understand why you're losing money, Jen.
Well, yeah, but we're looking for value, Ron. Well, yeah,
Yeah, I just want to be clear that we understand that the minus 134 means they think that is more likely to happen than them going under 9.5 wins.
Correct.
Great. Glad we're all on the same page. So those are your 3 options this morning, ladies and gentlemen. We'll put it on the Jen, Gabe, and Chewy Twitter poll. I, of course, like the long shot odds. I like big numbers. I like if I'm going to put down $10 to just see what happens, right? I can justify losing the 10, but maybe there's a chance that Jordan Love does. What would Jordan Love have to do? Because he had a great second half of the season. There are people who argue he had the best 8-game stretch of anyone else in the league to wrap up the season. What else would he have to do to be a more legitimate contender for MVP in the league?
They got to win the North, and I mean, all the other things would have to happen below it in terms of the Packers winning the North, winning over 9.5 games. For him to do that, they'd have to be a top 2 seed in the NFC.
Feels like a nice little parlay, actually. I better call Ron and make sure I understand a parlay before I go ahead and work one of those up. I like plus 1,400 for Jordan Love MVP odds, but it does feel like there are other guys out there who are going to have an easier time. You're right. They'd have to win the division. Can he duplicate the success he had in the second half of the season for an entire season?
I don't think he can just take that and double it, no. I mean, that it was incredible what he did over the last 8 or 9 games. If he can replicate the numbers he had a year ago, but be more consistent over the 17 games, that's going to be more impressive to me because you have to have that consistency. You have to get rid of the clunkers. You got to get rid of, and 1 or 2 is going to happen throughout the course of the season. It happens for everybody. But you have to have that more consistent of, and that's why people are looking at him versus C.J. Stroud as, well, okay, do we really know how good Jordan is? Whereas C.J. was pretty consistent from day one. Like the Texans were pretty consistent right away all throughout the course of the season, whereas the Packers and Jordan Love got hot at the end. And while that certainly everybody's attention, you're going, okay, are they actually this good, or is it just a hot streak over 2 months?
I saw yesterday that our friends in the afternoon, Kyle Brust and Nortman, you can listen to them right here on 94.5 ESPN, put a poll up saying, as a Packers fan, if you could be guaranteed a sweep of one divisional opponent this year, which team would it be? I got to think that the Lions would be the pick by most people because they feel like the toughest competition in the division, and beating them twice would certainly put the Packers in the catbird seat to win the division. But no, results did not indicate
Still
that.
Bears.
It's still the Bears. 51% of people would like to, not even close.
Not even close.
31% of people voting on that poll said they would prefer 31% said the Lions, 51% had the Bears, and only 18% had the Minnesota Vikings. Maybe because they feel like the Packers can beat the Vikings twice on their own. They don't need any
beating the other 2 twice
divine
anyway, you're
intervention.
Through that.
That is a little surprising to me, as I do think that the Lions will be the toughest competition in the division just based on what they have done and how I think their trajectory is still on the up and up. We got to take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. We will put that on the poll for you to vote on. 3 bets here. We're presenting them to you. Which one would you be most likely to spend $10 on? We've got Adam Schefter coming up next. Stick around on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
It doesn't matter what age you are. Low testosterone can be an issue with any guy. That's where Mentality comes in. Local healthcare facility specifically dedicated to helping you feel and perform at your very best. They've certainly helped me. If you're tired, groggy, just don't feel like yourself, you might be thinking, okay, I'm getting older. That's just the way it is. It doesn't have to be, because that could just be signs of low testosterone. That's what it was for me. I went in, went through the process with Mentality, had a blood panel done at the end. Within a week, my results were back to me. Found out my testosterone levels were low. So I now work with Mentality. They have a customized testosterone treatment plan just for me, and they can do the same for you. It's not one size fits all. They want to make sure that your testosterone levels are exactly where they need to be for you. So go to their website, lowtusa.com. Mentality allows treatment to fit into every guy's lifestyle. Learn more about Mentality and their low testosterone treatments. lowtusa.com.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Delays along westbound 94 stretching from the Marquette all the way to Hawley Road. Eastbound's backed up out of the Zoo interchange towards 35th Street. We've also got delays along southbound 43 from Hampton Avenue down past Keefe. Northbound slow around the North Avenue curve up to Keefe. And then westbound 894 heady ride out of the Mitchell interchange all the way to 68th Street. Traffic is brought to you by Racine Danish Kringles. Mother's Day is Sunday, May 12th. Ship Mama Kringle from Racine Danish Kringles. Go to kringle.com or call 1-800-4DANISH to order. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, partly cloudy skies, an afternoon breeze with a high of 71 at the lake, 75 inland. Tonight, showers developing with a low of 47. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
A season of award-winning golf at Sweetgrass and Sage Run is on the horizon. The Island Resort and Casino Stay and Play golf packages are booking fast, with choice dates available early in the week. After your rounds, visit the Drift Spa for a relaxing or targeted massage session. And enjoy dinner at Horizon's scenic top-floor steakhouse. So many reasons to take a drive. Book your Stay and Play golf package today. Visit islandresortgolf.com.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Injuries happen, but you don't have to play in pain or stay on the sidelines. Whether it's your kids dealing with a sports injury, college athletes, or the rest of us weekend warriors, the experts at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin will quickly diagnose your problem, lay out a treatment plan that works for you, and get you back in the game. They fixed my knee. My mother-in-law is back on the dance floor with a new hip. These are the experts you can trust. Visit orthowisconsin.com.
Whether you're a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. The hotel is ideally located in the heart of the theater district in downtown Milwaukee. With deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site galleries, and nightly live music, you'll enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. Book special hotel packages with room rates starting as low as $129 a night. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com.
Eagle Sports Range has an unbeatable offer on concealed carry license classes. For just $49, enroll in their 3-hour class led by expert instructors prioritizing safety. Learn laws, techniques, and mindset for responsible carrying. Stick around for an optional hour of range time with instructors included in the package. Practice under professional guidance and gain confidence. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day at 2525 East Layton Avenue in Cudahy. Secure your spot at eaglesportsrange.com. Eagle Sports Range, where safety meets skill.
At Progressive, we know money can't buy happiness. But money did buy your boat, where you find peace fishing, unlike at home with 3 teenage daughters. Because fish never argue about who stole whose crop top, or get mad the other fish used up all the hot water. No, they just swim around, never embarrassed to be seen with you in public. Yep. So save money by bundling your boat or RV insurance with home or auto from Progressive. And buy more happiness, or something close to it. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers, not available in all states.
Technology helps keep everyone comfortable with a smart thermostat.
Turn temperature down.
Temperature down.
Turn temperature up.
Temperature up. But to keep everyone on your team working comfortably, you need more than technology. You need CDW to custom configure Dell Client Solutions devices. Adaptive AI-based software creates a personalized user experience and boosts collaboration so they can stay cool and collected.
Temperature down.
Temperature up.
I'm staying out of this. Dell Client Solutions make adaptive performance possible. CDW makes it powerful. Learn more at cdw.com/Dell Client.
Everyone's go-to source for all NFL news.
Adam Schefter teased some big breaking news. Adam, you've told us about it. What do we got?
Adam's on the phone.
Adam, we some more,
Adam, you got more news? What do you got?
They're going with another move.
And he was the man who knows all, Adam Schefter.
And we're going to get right to some breaking news here that just came down. This tweet from Adam Schefter.
It's ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter.
The Bears look dead. The Vikings look dead. And so the division comes down to Detroit and Green Bay.
Adam Schefter on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy is presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Also sponsored by Island Resort and Casino.
Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin's ASAP Clinic brings us Adam Schefter each and every week here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. You've probably seen their locations in Brookfield, Mugwanago, and Pewaukee. What are you waiting for? If you have a strain, a sprain, a fracture, a laceration, a dislocation, or something like that, do not go to the ER. Do not go to urgent care. Check out the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin's ASAP Clinic. Why? Because all physicians are fellowship trained in specialty orthopedics. They are board certified. They are board eligible. They have advanced training in their respective fields. And by the way, the spine center that they have there, it also provides the highest level of spine care from a team of board certified physicians, fellowship trained surgeons, and non-surgical specialists. They offer on-site physical therapy, MRI, and outpatient surgical procedures. So if you find yourself in that situation, please check out our friends at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin's ASAP Clinic. There is a difference. Always great to have Adam Schefter on the show with us. Adam, I saw on your Twitter account yesterday that the NFL schedule is not being released until next week. That will be very disappointing to the Packers fans out there who are waiting with bated breath to see the order of the games for their beloved green and gold. Why next week? What's that about?
Well, listen, it's not an automatic that it gets released the second Thursday after the draft, which is what they've done in recent years. I texted somebody in the league office on Monday. I'm like, are we getting this? We're like, we're waiting for Roger to sign off on this. Now, again, for whatever reason, they must have felt like there were some issues that they still were working through. It's complex to make all the networks happy. Everybody's got requests for games. It's an important decision to make for all these games. And so obviously they just were not ready to do it this week and wanted to work into next week. And the truth of the matter is, look, it's really, there's not a lot of news value in the schedule, but everybody waits to plan their schedules around the actual schedule. And basically you're planning trips, You're waiting to see where you're going to go. You're waiting to see when your team has a bye, who it opens up with. Although the Packers already know they're going to Brazil. They're opening in Brazil against the Eagles. So there's a lot of things like that, but there's no date that the league is locked into that it has to be then, and the league wants to make sure it gets it right with its network partners, and the league didn't feel like it was ready to do it just yet, so it's taking until next Wednesday, 1 week from today, to release its schedule.
Yeah, that's just smart. With all the money that the networks pay and the NFL makes off of those network contracts, that just makes sense. Adam, you always like to say the NFL gets what the NFL wants. And is the biggest example of that the schedule release? Because the NFL has made this, as we've discussed, into a year-round thing. And to me, and look, I'm just as guilty as the next person in terms of being excited about what the Packers' schedule is going to be and when that gets released next week. But I already know the games. I know where the games are going to be played. This is literally just the order in which they are going to be played. And yet the NFL has all of us waiting and being excited over the release of something that we already kind of know.
Well, you know what? I'll go back to when I was first covering the National Football League in 1990 out in Denver. And I always felt that the release of the schedule, on this particular date was a big deal. And I always looked forward to it. Like, when is Denver playing? Who do the Broncos open with? When's their bye? When do I get to take off? Are they on Monday nights? All those things, all the questions that we all have. Like, my point to you is that in the 90s, in the early 90s, I always felt like, even though to your point, it was not, again, new, it always felt like a big deal, right? It always felt like a big deal. And this is an example of that being a big deal. It just plays out how it does, and you get to see how it spells out. The truth of the matter is, it's really now the digital Super Bowl. It's a Super Bowl for these social media teams to put together a release video that accompanies the schedule, and each social media team tries to outdo the next one. This is the Super Bowl for each social media team across the league.
Adam Schefter hanging out with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. One of the big conversations on social media yesterday was reaction to Austin Rivers' comment that there could not be crossover between the NFL and the NBA. Did you see those, Adam?
I heard a little bit about it. I didn't hear his direct comments, but what's the gist of it? That certain players couldn't do certain things or whatnot? That
NFL players could never hang in the NBA. Basically, and my interpretation of it was Austin Rivers thinks that the NFL is just a bunch of offensive linemen and quarterbacks. And, I think you forgot all about the skill position players, that many of them have had success, obviously, at lower levels. But, Julius Peppers comes to mind very quickly as the one guy who probably could have had a career in the NBA after playing basketball at North Carolina and also football. He obviously chose to extend his career on the gridiron. Do you think there could be crossover? Are there players in the NFL that you think would have successful NBA careers?
Oh, I would feel certain about that. I don't know exactly who. I'd have to sit down and think about it. But there are some great basketball players who are football players. Great, and these guys love it. So to me, I don't know how successful they would be, but I'll bet there are definitely some NFL guys that could make it in the NBA.
The position of tight end always seems to be one for me. I mean, Tony Gonzalez, right? Am I remembering that
Antonio
correctly?
Gates.
And these are guys who played basketball, and famously, it was part of the reason why they were so good at 50-50 balls, at jump balls, and you know what I mean? Like we always talked about in the broadcast, part of the reason why these guys were so good, their athleticism, crossed over to the basketball court as well.
Oh, Antonio Gates. And I guess I'd like to get away from tight ends because I guarantee there are some safeties, some running backs. There are probably some offensive linemen that could do it. Like there are guys that could play in the NBA. Probably not a lot, but I'm just telling you, there are some football players who are really, really good at basketball. Really good.
Adam, what do you think is most likely to happen for the Green Bay Packers? Because we were just discussing some bets. I'm not saying you have to bet on any of these, but what do you think is the most likely to happen? The Packers are over 9.5 wins. The Packers win the NFC North, or Jordan Love wins the MVP.
Well, Jordan Love MVP, 9.5 wins, win the North, right?
Those are the three
choices?
options. Yep.
I would say the most likely of those three would be over 9.5 wins.
Yeah.
You agree or not?
Yeah, I agree. The odds agree. That makes the most sense to me. I guess if I'm looking for value, if I am betting, I said I would take Packers winning the NFC North just because there's some good odds there. But I think they're maybe a little bit closer to the Lions. I still think the Lions are the favorite. The Lions probably win, but I think they're going to be nipping at the heels of the Lions.
It's, yeah. And by the way, like, I think Detroit's a great team.
Yeah.
But, again, this is like mutual funds. You know, past performance does not guarantee future success. And just because the Lions played great last year and it was the year of the Lions and everybody rallied around them, just because that was the case, doesn't mean they're going to have that year again. It doesn't work like that. The Lions had a great year, but also had a lot of breaks, and they made things count, and it was just their year. Is it going to be their year again? Very possibly. Wouldn't surprise anybody. They're good enough to have it be their year. But, again, there are no guarantees in this league, and it changes up. For all we know, Caleb Williams is going to come on and take the league by storm, and the Bears are going to win the division. Or Jordan Love continues his ascension, rises up, and they dethrone the Lions. I mean, these things, they're possible. You don't see it now, but they definitely could be the case before the end of the year.
Adam, who should we be keeping an eye on as far as getting a big contract, the next big contract in the league? Obviously, here in Wisconsin, everyone is waiting for the shoe to drop with the Jordan Love contract. Is there somebody else in the league that you think will get done before his gets done?
Well, I'm sure there will be. Like, the Lions have been talking to Jared Goff. The Niners have been talking to Brandon Ayuk, if we're going to talk to other positions as well. The Cowboys know it's out there with C.D. Lamb. I don't know which one's going to get done first. It's never exactly easy to tell. Sometimes these things come together very quickly. Other times they're longer and it's a more drawn-out process. But, I think by the time the regular season begins, I would think that we'll have contract extensions for Trevor Lawrence, for Jared Goff, for Jordan Love, for C.D. Lamb, for Justin Jefferson, for Brandon Ayuk. Like, there's a lot of deals that are going to get done this summer. Which one's first? Couldn't tell you. Don't know that right now. But there's a lot of deals that get done, and there are little, inflection points right before training camp, right at the start of training camp, right before the start of the regular season, where these deals sometimes tend to get done.
Adam, Packers president Mark Murphy does a little column over at Packers.com every month. Takes 5 fan questions, answers them, calls it Murphy Takes 5. And this month, he shared a wild story of when he was coming into the league. Washington had reached out to him, said that they were interested in drafting him. So they brought him and a bunch of other prospects to town, and he didn't get drafted on day 1. Then day 2, They basically take him and like 4 other dudes, throw him in a van, show him a tour of the city, all while the draft is going on. They don't have, obviously, access to cell phones or anything like that. Nobody gets drafted, or he doesn't get drafted. And at the end, this was all a ploy for them to kind of be like, oh, hey, we really like you, and now we want to sign you to a free agent contract. Have you heard of any other wild stories around the draft? Because we couldn't get over the fact that the Washington squad just decided, hey, we kind of like you. Yeah, we don't necessarily want to draft you, but we're just going to stash you away so we can sign you to a free agent contract and put the pressure on when it comes to signing.
It was essentially kidnapping, is I think what we're trying to get at, Adam Schefter. Like, they kidnapped Mark Murphy and a bunch of other players and kept them from being able to be drafted by other teams. Like, it's wild.
Just nobody could get a hold of him.
Well, there are all sorts of hijinks that go on. Some hijinks and some not. Like, the Broncos were calling the Jets. Was it the Jets during this draft or the team behind them? I forget. They were trying to distract them so they could just get Bo Nix without any issues. Again, there's a story that I told on my podcast this morning, and it's not hijinks, but the ramifications and significance of it, to me, are unbelievable when I thought about it. But I had Elliot Wolf, who is the Patriots de facto general manager, the son of the Packers' legendary general manager, Ron Wolf, on my podcast this week, and was asking him about being in the Packers' war room back in the day. And he told me the story back in the 1996 draft when he was in the room. And the week before the draft, the Packers sent down their head of scouting, John Dorsey, to go work out and meet with Ray Lewis, time him in the 40, came back, raved about him. Well, they had Ray Lewis on the phone, called him to let him know that with the 27th overall pick in the 1996 draft, the Green Bay Packers were taking Ray Lewis. And while they were on the phone with Ray Lewis, it flashed on the screen that at number 26, one pick before Green Bay, the Baltimore Ravens selected Ray Lewis. Now, for a moment, just think about what it would have been like.
No, Adam, I prefer not to. I don't want to think about it as a Packers fan.
What would it have been like if the Packers had gotten the guy that they intended to get, the guy they had on the phone, the guy they wanted to get, and they didn't get him, and instead they took John Michaels, the offensive tackle from USC. But let's envision for a moment.
Do I have to?
Ray Lewis with Reggie White,
Adam, you're
Brett
killing me.
Favre. Oh my God.
Leroy Butler, yeah, Leroy Butler, yeah, I get it, Adam. That team would have been really good and probably wins the Super Bowl in back-to-back years. Yes, I understand.
Look at it, Gabe. Look at it. Adam Schefter. Hey, Adam, speaking of Elliot Wolf, can I just ask you one question about that? Because there's been some rumblings, and these are real rumblings, not like Chewy rumblings where somebody is implicitly saying it, but that he is the guy who's going to get the job, but because the team has not been able to fulfill the Rooney Rule, they outside candidates are like, we know it's Elliot Wolf's job. Why in the world would we interview for that position when it's just basically to fulfill the Rooney Rule? Is this going to be a tough situation? Are they going to be able to get out of this?
No, it's not an issue. Again, I expect that Elliot Wolf will be the full-time general manager there. And they have two people in today that they're interviewing this morning, Brandon Hunt, the Eagles director of scouting, and Samir Suleiman, the Panthers former vice president. And the reason that people go and do it when they know that the odds are stacked against them is, number one, it's good experience. Number two, it's good exposure. Number three, they get to go through the process. Number four, you never know what's going to happen. It's like, why would the American hockey team play the Russian team? Well, you know what? Sometimes the underdog comes through. And maybe, for all we know, Elliot Wolf gets the job, which is the expectation, the general manager. And after a year, it doesn't work out, but Brandon Hunt or Samir Suleiman made such an impression on the Kraft family that they have him top of mind, and they bring him back. Like, you don't know. You're not turning down something when you have aspirations of rising up in the business. You're not going into that interview thinking that you're going to get the job. We understand that. But you are going in knowing that, hey, today on this show, we mentioned Brandon Hunt and Samir Suleiman. Their names are on social media today. They are being discussed. Their names come up. They'll have the experience of meeting the Patriots people. They'll now know the Kraft family. They'll now know Gerard Mayo. They'll now build other connections. They'll have the experience for doing it themselves. There's a lot of reasons to go through it, even though we all don't believe that they're going to wind up as the general manager of the Patriots, if that makes sense.
Adam, last thing we have for you. My husband and I got into a heated debate yesterday. He told me I was sneezing wrong, that I have been sneezing through my mouth and not my nose. And if I were sneezing through my nose, I wouldn't be sneezing as frequently as I am. So a very simple question for you this morning, Adam Schefter. Do you sneeze through your mouth or do you sneeze through your nose?
I believe I sneeze through your nose. I don't know whether that's going to make me more or less attracted to your husband, Jen. But I believe I do sneeze through my nose.
Put Adam Schefter down as a nose sneezer, not a mouth sneezer. I know Gabe said earlier he doesn't want to be distinguishing between mouth sneezing and nose sneezing.
Because mouth sneezing is just Sneezing.
No sneezing is
No
a problem.
sneezing. Yeah, it's an issue. Should get that looked at, Adam.
And so the two things that you can remember all day today, Gabe, will be how you sneeze and what would have happened if the Green Bay Packers had in fact drafted Ray
Nope,
Lewis.
he has already Men in Blacked that from his brain. Adam Schefter, remember those devices they used on Men in Black to erase people's memories so they wouldn't know that they had met an alien?
It's like the biggest what if in Packers history.
It is, yeah.
Like Ray Lewis and Reggie White on the same defense? That's not fair.
It is quite a what if. It is quite a what if.
All right, Adam, we appreciate you hanging out with us, extending your stay here with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy this morning. I promise next time the big guy will be back. He obviously makes things a lot more fun around here.
It's all good. I'm happy to be with you guys. We still had a good time. We'll have a good time with Adam every time. But yes, it's nice when Chewy's here.
All right, Adam, have a great one. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Adam Schefter brought to you right here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy by our friends at the Island Resort and Casino. Your total experience at the Island Resort and Casino includes 2 championship golf courses. Both are fantastic. So much fun to play. I love going up there and doing that. I already have my date booked up there to play, but stay and play packages are now available. So book right now to guarantee those choice dates. For complete information, visit islandresortgolf.com today.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN. Keep the good times rolling every Sunday with GKB founder and CEO Craig Karmazin on Sunday Karma.
Everyone's using Daniel Jones as why Jordan Love's going to get paid all that money. I think it's the opposite. I think it's what you just hit.
Right.
I think that it's more of like, hey, be careful. Don't just jump into paying someone unless you're sure.
Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin.
Is that how you manage?
That is not how you manage, but that might be the way that the Green Bay Packers organization goes about their business.
It's the way the Green Bay Packers.
We know they go about their business like that.
Sundays from 10 to noon on ESPN Wisconsin.
Hi, it's John Reitz from Great Midwest Bank. And you know, there's more to being a local Wisconsin bank than perfectly pronouncing Oconomowoc or Waukesha. Or is it Waukesha? But rest assured, at Great Midwest Bank, we understand the local community and economy because we're a part of it. At GMB, we provide customized lending products that others just can't offer. Experience a hometown banking difference. Head to greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
We expect our information in real time. US Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide real-time readings of blood glucose levels. US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurers. So call 888-665-0696 today for a free insurance and Medicare benefits check as easy as... That's 888-665-0696.
Lowe's knows pros need the right tools for every job. That's why we sell the largest in-store selection of Klein tools anywhere. Find new items launching exclusively at Lowe's, like the self-leveling laser level for just $159.98. Plus, shop the Connect socket set for just $49.98. Get Klein tools in-store and online today. Because Lowe's knows tools. Lowe's knows pros.
Evan Cohen here from Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Radio for True Green. Are you ready to elevate your lawn game without breaking the bank? True Green has been the trusted choice for over 2 million homeowners for over 50 years. Visit TrueGreen.com and discover the easiest and affordable way to achieve a pro-level lawn guaranteed. Plus, enjoy True Green's verified price matching, ensuring you get the best lawn for the best price. Visit TrueGreen.com and transform your lawn effortlessly. That's TrueGreen.com. Your dream lawn is just around the corner.
It's the moment we've all been waiting for. The NFL schedule drops this week. You can be there to catch all the action, live and in person, with the official ticketing partner of ESPN, Vivid Seats. Experience every touchdown, every tackle, and every eye-popping play of your favorite team, live and in person. Plus, Vivid Seats is the only ticket company that rewards you for purchasing. For the best selection of 2024 and 2025 tickets, visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats. Experience it live.
Evan Cohen here from Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Radio for True Green. Are you ready to elevate your lawn game without breaking the bank? True Green has been the trusted choice for over 2 million homeowners for over 50 years. Visit TrueGreen.com and discover the easiest and affordable way to achieve a pro-level lawn guaranteed. Plus, enjoy True Green's verified price matching, ensuring you get the best lawn for the best price. Visit TrueGreen.com and transform your lawn effortlessly. That's TrueGreen.com. Your dream lawn is just around the corner.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile. And the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time. There's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
How much will Angie let you grow a beard?
I would say for 3 months I have to keep a beard if I lose.
Okay, and Angie would allow you to have a beard for 3 months.
She doesn't run my life. Drop that.
Yeah.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Tune in to Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus Audio Network, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Behind the Bucks dives deep into Bucks and Six, a culture unknowingly created by former Bucs star Brandon Jennings. Take a look inside the Brandon Jennings story, the origin of Bucks and Six, and how it has become the rallying cry, and what it truly means to Jennings and Bucks fans alike. Find Behind the Bucks on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get your podcasts. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher.
Big thanks to Adam Schefter, who joined us for an extended appearance this morning on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, answering all the questions. If you missed it, you can find it on Wisconsin On Demand, wherever you get your podcasts. We were talking about which of those bets that we mentioned earlier in the show you would take with Adam Schefter. He likes the Packers for over 9.5 wins, which, of course, the odds do as well. I got some information here that might make you even more excited about what the Green Bay Packers. I know he really messed you up with that Ray Lewis story.
As long as we're not talking about Adam. Oh, no, me and Adam are fighting for the rest of the week
because of the Ray Lewis story.
Yeah,
reminding you.
He kept bringing it up.
That Ray Lewis.
I asked him kindly not to.
Could have been a Packer.
Yeah. Why are you doing it?
Almost was a Packer.
I don't understand.
Only 2 of the top 10 defenders ever.
Yeah, they would have had 2 of the top 10 defenders ever on the same defense.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I got some information that'll make you even more optimistic about the Packers' success in 2024 after this.
Never miss out on a second of the show. Find Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand. Sponsored by Celsius Essential Energy Drink.
Got a bit of a slow ride along eastbound 94. Really hitting the brakes as you're coming out of the Zoo interchange. You'll be riding those brakes all the way to 35th Street. We've also got westbound 894 backing up out of the Mitchell interchange all the way to 68th. The eastbound side of 894 slowing down from before the hail all the way through to about 76th Street. And then we've also got northbound 4394 backing up out of the Mitchell interchange up to Oklahoma Avenue. Traffic is brought to you by Dave & Buster's Power Lunch. From 11 to 2, get an entree and 30 minutes of unlimited play for only $14.99. Dave & Buster's, get a full plate of fun. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, partly cloudy skies and afternoon lake breeze. A high of 71 at the lake, 75 inland. Tonight, showers developing, a low of 47. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga, 94.5 ESPN.
A season of award-winning golf at Sweetgrass and Sage Run is on the horizon. The Island Resort and Casino stay-and-play golf packages are booking fast, with choice dates available early in the week. After your rounds, visit the Drift Spa for a relaxing or targeted massage session. And enjoy dinner at Horizon's scenic top-floor steakhouse. So many reasons to take a drive. Book your stay-and-play golf package today. Visit islandresortgolf.com.
Another MVP has joined the roster at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, Dr. Michael Nolte. Expertscape recently named him part of the top 1% of spine expertise in the world. Dr. Nolte has published over 50 peer-reviewed articles in leading scientific journals and authored more than 100 national presentations. They added this MVP specialist for orthopedic, neurosurgical, and spine care because at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference.
Hey, this is Gabe Neitzel. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
If you're an adult, don't take a baseball glove to the game.
You're
there.
All done.
End of rant. Give you the truncated version.
Okay, what's our backstory?
We're brothers from New Hampshire. We're venture capitalists.
I'm sick of that.
Let's be from Vermont, and let's have an emerging maple syrup conglomerate.
Did that really bother you?
Well, no. If you're an adult taking a baseball glove to a game, just, you got to reconsider some life choices.
Grow up,
What
Peter Pan.
What if you have a kid in tow?
Stupid. We don't know anything about maple syrup. I happen to know everything there is to know about maple syrup. I love maple syrup.
If you're driving yourself to the game, can't bring a
Come
glove.
on. Chase is 15. I think he'd still want to bring a glove.
Yeah.
Again, if you're sitting in prime home run catching spots.
Sure, but I'm just saying, the minute he starts taking himself to games, that's when the line is. That's when you cross the line.
A little bit.
Grow up, Peter Pan. Count Chocula. Look, we've been to 1 million weddings, and guess what? Rocked them all.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamorro. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight, he ain't doing nothing but running his mouth.
Bunch of hardos making anti-fun rules. That was our conversation yesterday. And one of our fearless leaders, Brian D., told us that there was sound from one Craig Counsell from several years ago, also making a rule, or a ruling, if you will, about how old one should be to bring a glove to the stadium. And he said 14 years old, Gabe. How do you feel that you and Craig Counsell are basically, in the same space right
he's
now?
a baseball guy. I'm a baseball guy. We can reach across the aisle from time to time to agree what's best for the game.
And that's where the similarities end. Just kidding. Lots of people not happy with Craig Counsell, obviously, so I didn't know if you were going to agree with him or disagree just in principle, or out of principle, rather.
No, he's 100% right on this. You got two gloves that the Lord gave you. Use those as your mitt.
Somebody asked us on social media yesterday, though, if baseball players at the highest level are allowed to use a glove to catch, why can't,
Because you're not on the field making outs.
Correct.
No, if you're making out, you're in the car. No?
Depends.
Took me a second. I guess I get it.
Depends.
I guess I get it. Joshy has the audio of Craig Counsell making the ruling on who should be able to bring a glove to the game.
I still like seeing kids bring their gloves to the yard. I mean, that was a staple when we were kids. You always brought your glove to County Stadium in case you needed to make that catch on a foul or whatever.
Is there an age limit on that, though? This is a big debate. I'm curious Craig's opinion. Is there an age limit on bringing the glove to the ballpark?
You'd like to see grown man with his ball glove.
If you're 35, bring them in. I don't know.
I think there should be an age limit. Yes, I'm in favor of a national age limit on bringing glove to the park. Yes,
as long as we're changing rules in MLB, you might as well throw that in.
Set the decree right now, Craig. It's up to you. Set the law. What's the age that you can't bring the glove to AmFam Field anymore? It's on you.
I'm gonna go 14.
Okay,
yeah,
I like it.
14. Yeah, you're in high school by then, right? Yeah.
And if you're 15 and you happen to get a ball, does it have to go to a kid younger?
Yes. Yeah, then you pass it on to a kid. Yes.
Again, there it is. Craig Counsell, public enemy number one, giving the ruling, 14 years old. Now I think everyone should bring a glove to the games when the Brewers host the Cubs in a few weeks, right?
I still respect myself.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Everyone should bring a glove in protest to
Maybe
Craig
put
Counsell.
on a diaper, too. And go to the game.
Not sure how that affects Craig Counsell. It sounds more like a fetish
just
thing.
calling people babies.
All right. Let's talk about the baseball game last night. Willy Adames, who I contend is my favorite person in Milwaukee right now, and that is over Giannis Antetokounmpo. And I know that might be blasphemy in some circles, but I really, really like Willy Adames. And it doesn't hurt that last night, with the Brewers chasing in the ninth inning, Willy Adames stepped up, not only hit the game winner, right? Game-winning home run. Obviously, the home team did get to bat, obviously, in the bottom half. But called his shot Babe Ruth style. So we have the audio, right, Joshy, of him. Did we have the audio of him talking to the fans beforehand, right? No. We have him talking after the game. No, but we have the highlight. So let's play the highlight of Willy Adames's go-ahead 3-run home run last night in the ninth versus Kansas City.
Here's the pitch. Breaking ball hammered out to left. Back goes Hampson at the track. Wall gone! Willy Adames flips this game on its head. The Brewers take a 6-5 lead in the ninth. It had to be Willy Adames. His 7th home run of the season. And oh, is it a big one here at Kauffman Stadium. 6-5 Milwaukee.
I believe Willy Adames also made the final out of the game to send Kansas City home with a loss. After the game, Willy revealed that he had been talking to, not really jawing, I think it was all playful banter, with a few fans, Kansas City fans in the front row, who had dared him or encouraged him or asked him, essentially, to hit the home run? What was your understanding of that exchange, Gabe?
Well, why don't we just hear Willy talk about what the exchange was?
Billy Murph said that you called your shot there, kind of. You were jawing with some fans. Can you kind of break down what happened there?
Oh, yeah, no. We were talking the whole game. They were talking. They were being friendly, and, I was just having a good time with them, and they were like, "Oh, we want Willy," and I went close to them, and I was like, "Are you sure you want me?" And they were like, "Yeah, we want you to hit a 3-run homer," and I was like, "I bet. Let me do it. If Gotti take a wall, I'm going." And then I hit it, and I was like, "Oh my God, that was the coolest thing I ever done, I ever experienced in my life." And we had a good time. Then I signed a couple balls for them, and we had a great time.
It sounds like, sometimes that can be nasty, the interactions. This one sounds like it's
no. Yeah, sometimes, fans, they could be very hard, but, these guys here, they were amazing. They were having a good time. And obviously, we were chatting there through, my whole, all my at-bats, we were chatting.
Willy, their reaction, they were cheering. They were fired up for you.
Oh, yeah,
and they're Royals fans.
Oh, no, they told me they want me to hit a 3-run homer. They say that would be the best. And I was like, I bet. I got you. I got you. And then they were, I think that it was, for me too, it was just a great experience. Obviously, you don't really get that a lot.
So to me, this is putting the experience above your fandom, right? The experience of not only interacting with Willy Adames, a player on the opposing team, throughout the game, but also being a part of, contributing to what ended up taking place. So they had said to him, we want you. And he's like, you don't want me up there. So they felt some sort of ownership of kind of what transpired. To me, that's saying the experience at that game, who cares? It's one of, 160 plus, whatever. That experience is always going to be more memorable than what the outcome of the game was, Gabe.
That's something that only happens in baseball. Because it happens during no-hitters, too. When a guy is throwing a no-hitter and he's on the road and he gets to the ninth inning, it seems like everybody in the ballpark, I get to see history. I get to see a no-hitter if this guy gets the 3 outs. My team unless this happens in the last week of the season, right?
And the game actually matters.
And the game matters in the standings. But this is something that only happens in baseball because there's 162 games, right? I think this is a baseball exclusive thing because I cannot imagine somebody sitting behind the Bears bench at Lambeau Field and going, "Yeah, Caleb, we want you to go lead a game-winning drive." That's not happening anytime soon, and it's not happening ever. But here, because it's 1/162, you get to have that cool interaction. That's something that these two fans are going to have forever. They're going to have that baseball. Willy Adames isn't an all-time great, but they're going to have that baseball at home on their desk, wherever they decide to keep it, and have the memory of, oh, man, we were jawing with Willy, and then we turned this thing around. He hit this 3-run homer. It was really cool.
Yeah, they have video and pictures of it. When Max Scherzer was with the Nationals, he took a perfect game really late, and Carlos Gomez hit a broken bat single, and Carlos Gomez apologized to him, and the entirety of AmFam Field gave him a standing ovation because at that point it's like, well, the Brewers are going to lose, so at least I get to see somebody performing at the utmost level of excellence.
So I guess my question to you, Gabe, is I know you mentioned the Caleb Williams thing, and obviously there's different variables with the Bears versus Packers and just the intensity of that situation. But if you saw an opponent do something like a 105-yard return in a game, would you be jazzed about that because it makes history?
Nope.
It's never.
Nope.
See, I feel like anytime something makes history, there's a element of I was there to be able to have that memory. So, I understand what you're saying about the NFL. There's only 17 games. Every possession matters so much more than every, at-bat in baseball for comparison's sake. But I do think that people, generally speaking, put their own experience above the outcome.
I feel that's only a baseball thing. I feel that only happens in baseball.
Are you telling me that if the Bucks are hosting the Lakers and LeBron is putting up He's having a historic game. And in the fourth quarter, he's closing in on, I don't even know what LeBron's career record is, but let's just throw a number out there. Like, he's closing in on 65 points. Are you telling me you're not hoping that LeBron scores 65 at Fiserv Forum and you can say that you were there?
No.
Really?
Because again, even that's like, for LeBron's career high, maybe if LeBron's got 90 points, am I rooting for him to get to 100? Yes. At that point, I would root for 100 points.
So he can take the picture afterwards with a little white piece of paper.
Correct. Like, if he's going to match Wilt's record, yes, I will root there. Guys score 65 points all the time in basketball games. We saw Giannis do it earlier this year. That was cool. But no,
now I have to look up what LeBron James' career high is. Continue your point.
Well, but even like, because Kobe scored 81, which is like the most since the 100-point game. Okay, cool.
61 is LeBron's career high for the record.
It's the second most of all time. It's not the most of all time, right? And there's just something about the no-hitter. There's something about the perfect game. There's something about those things that are pretty special.
I think it extends beyond baseball, but I think you and I are in agreement that human nature is, okay, I can convince myself that the outcome of this game doesn't matter because I got to see something really, really cool, really unique that you don't see every day.
Like, so if Brett Favre, let's go back in the time machine. You're at that playoff game against the Rams, and he's got the 6 picks. I don't know what the NFL record is for interceptions in a game.
No,
Am I rooting for that?
No. But again, I'm talking about the other team doing something historic that maybe
But that's
leads
the same thing, though.
So again, if you want to take football out of the mix
Correct.
because you're like, there's just too few games and the possessions matter too much, and the difference between a win and a loss in this one is the difference in the standings and the potential to go to the playoffs, I get it. But go to the NBA. Go to these leagues that have more games where you've mentioned that the regular season doesn't matter in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
You're sitting in the stands or at Fiserv Forum. Are you telling me that if somebody on the other team is en route to a historic night, one that they will be talking about on every single morning show throughout the country the next day, there's not a part of you that's like, kind of want it to happen so I can say I was there?
Yeah, it's got to be 100. Somebody going for 101 points. Somebody's going for 31 assists. Like, if it's going to be historic, let's actually make it historic. I don't care if you score 65. There's a long list of dudes who've done 65. There's a bunch of guys that have 20 assists. No, you got to break Skiles' record. You got to break Wilt's record. You got to be doing something like, okay, if we're going to do this, let's do this.
Jared weighing in saying, even in baseball, rivalries matter. Would you be okay seeing a Cubs player throw a perfect game against the Brewers? Perfect game?
It wasn't against the Brewers, but there were plenty of Milwaukee fans that were at AmFam Field when Zambrano threw the no-hitter.
Well, famously Miller Park back then. But yes, when they were displaced for the weather.
Yeah, I mean, maybe these people are better than me. I don't think I ever end up in a situation where I'm like talking to Willy Adames and saying, yeah, hit a home run here. That'd be really cool.
Hit a dinger for me.
But I think they were trying to use reverse psychology, don't you? I think there was probably a little reverse psychology going on there.
I think they were just friendly guys.
I think they just got friendly at the end. Like, they enjoyed their interactions. Here's the thing. You mentioned how Willy's your favorite athlete. Yeah. I think they started this interaction in the first inning with, we're going to chirp at Willy. By the end, he won him over to the point where they were rooting
That's
for
exactly
him
what happened. That is exactly what happened. Thank you for shouting out the elephant in the room, which is this doesn't happen with anybody except Willy Adames. There are very few players that have the charisma that he has, the energy, right? He's the guy that walks in the room and you're like, oh, that guy is somebody I want to be around, right? He's magnetic. They said that when he came to the Brewers, right? That was the big story of like, you guys are going to love this guy. And here we are several seasons later and everybody loves him. So I think you're right. I think that's more of what it was. It was like, the guy was in the opponent's jersey at the beginning of the game. By the end of the game, he was a friend, and they were rooting for him.
They're getting really Adames jerseys now. Yeah. I mean, maybe wait till next year after Nike fixes everything.
Right, exactly. Don't buy the jersey this year if you haven't already.
I've had the privilege of sitting in similar seats at AmFam Field, and you can hear people saying stuff to players all the time, and hardly ever do they turn around. There's been a couple guys who are known to be fun guys, but hardly ever do they actually engage with those people and engage to the point where now they're rooting for you to beat their team that they're there wearing their jerseys and paying tickets to go watch.
I'm trying to think of the name of the player because this just dawned on me. When we were sitting out, it was in college, we were sitting out in the outfield and my college roommate was just heckling. Well, I think it was an outfielder for the Reds. I'll text him to see if he remembers who it was. And then the guy finally had enough just turned around and did the grab his groin thing at you. That's what he decided was going to somehow better the situation.
Yeah.
Is that my friend got so far under his skin that's what he decided to do.
I've seen it happen in the outfield where, because, things get pretty crazy out there. It's the bleachers where they have the outfielder for the opponent laughing because they're being so funny, going after them. There used to be guys at Miller Park back in the day who would bring full stat books and read off the stats and the bad ones and the family history and everything about these people, like some guys in the bullpen or whoever was in left field at the time. There is that unique interaction where baseball can be really quiet. So if you yell, the person closest to you is for sure going to hear it.
Is there anybody more likable in Milwaukee sports right now than Willy Adames?
Yeah, it's still Giannis.
Yeah, I think so.
It's not particularly close. It's not particularly close.
I don't think that people are frustrated with Giannis specifically.
Yeah.
But I think there is a frustration right now with the Milwaukee Bucks. And by extension, then Giannis is kind of being grouped into that. I'm not saying people are mad at Giannis. I'm saying people are like, I don't want to talk about you right now.
I mean, sure. But if we were to put it on a poll, Giannis is running away with it. Not close.
Is this where I need to employ the Chewy rule of if Willy Adames gets 14%, it's considered a victory?
That's not a victory. That's not even, if the question is there anyone more likable and he gets 14% compared to Giannis, then no, you cannot consider that a victory.
No, not at all.
I don't think so. I don't think that passes. Giannis's history is just too long and storied. And on social media where I don't follow Willy Adames on anything, but Giannis has posted some wild stuff on his Instagram account.
Go watch. First of all, I did see a photo of Giannis at Barnacle Buds this last weekend.
What?
Yeah, he was just hanging out at Bee Buds. Wow. Just
Love that spot.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Giannis is one of us. Go watch. If this is how you're feeling right now, Jen, just go watch Giannis, The Incredible Journey. And then report back to me tomorrow.
Well, I like sitting in this space where I like Willy Adames. We're in baseball season now. We have turned the page on the Bucs season, even though that's begrudgingly. And I feel like right now it's a great time to wrap your arms around this Brewers team, even if it's just Willy Adames.
I love Willy. Love Willy. I'm not telling you not to like Willy. I'm just telling you, let's not get hyperbolic here.
I guess I'm alone in this. Is that what we're realizing? Is there anyone else out there who is feeling like I'm feeling, which is Willy Adames is my favorite Milwaukee sports person right now? Willy Adames is my favorite Milwaukee sports person right now.
He's not even.
I think if Giannis was putting up 50 burgers in the playoffs right now, I don't know if you'd have
100%. I totally agree, but those aren't the circumstances we're working with.
Prisoner of the moment. We're just embracing it.
Right now, Willy Adames is my favorite Milwaukee sports person.
Here's the other problem. If Bob Uecker would have called the home run, then Bob Uecker might have been your favorite. That's
a really good point.
Bob's not doing the traveling right now.
We don't even put Bob Uecker on lists anymore where it's favorite Milwaukee sports personality because it's it's not even fair. Exactly. Put that on the poll. Right now, who's your favorite Milwaukee sports? Is it Bob Uecker? Because I think Bob Uecker gives...
Uecker always gets left off because he just runs away with it.
He would give Giannis a run for his money, though, wouldn't he? If you had to pick right now between Bob Uecker and Giannis, I think that's a better poll than Willy Adames.
See how quickly you've changed?
It was your idea.
You threw Bob Uecker out there.
This was your poll.
Here's the reality. I've been watching the games on television as opposed to listening to the games on the radio. If I started swapping, listening again, then Uecker would go right to the top of my power rankings. We got to take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. But first, at GMB, applying for a loan is as simple as a few clicks with their online mortgage portal. So if you are purchasing a new home and it feels a little daunting, don't fret. My friends at Great Midwest Bank say it does not have to be. The loan officers at Great Midwest Bank take the stress out of the process by taking the time to get to know you and understand your needs. That way, you can have the best mortgage process possible. Visit greatmidwestbank.com to learn more today. That's greatmidwestbank.com.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
We've got delays along westbound 894 pretty much through the construction zone out of the Mitchell interchange all the way to about 76th Street. Northbound 4394, that's going to start to slow down right around Howard Avenue all the way up to Oklahoma Avenue. Northbound 43 slow out of the Marquette all the way to Keefe with the southbound side. Heavy pocket from Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol Drive. Eastbound 94 slowing from 84th Street through the Stadium interchange to 27th. The westbound side slow out of the Marquette all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Traffic is brought to you by the Club at Lac La Belle. The historic course is open to the public 7 days a week. Schedule your tee time at clubatlaclabelle.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, partly cloudy skies, an afternoon lake breeze, a high of 71 at the lake, 75 inland. Tonight, showers developing, a low of 47. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
For your next night out, make Aria, the acclaimed restaurant inside St. Kate the Arts Hotel, your dinner destination. Aria, nestled on the second floor of St. Kate, is an artful dining experience that captivates with its culinary creativity. Delighting in its offering of artisanal American cuisine, the restaurant transcends tradition and leans into the realm of playful and inventive flavors. Come and experience the magic of Aria, where every bite is a work of culinary artistry. Learn more and make reservations at aria@stkate.com.
Bike crash? Call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
From big tailgate parties to cozy dinners for two, the freshest ideas start with a stop at Century Foods. Now through Wednesday, save on 8.8 to 12-ounce selected varieties Kellogg's Kids cereal, 2 for $6. 6 to 24-ounce selected varieties Frito-Lay party-sized chips or dips, 2 for $9. 12-pack cans selected varieties Super Chill Soda, $4.49. 64-ounce selected varieties Old Orchard Juice, 2 for $5.
Hey, why'd you throw my glass across the room?
I have to keep practicing.
The vase from Aunt Sophie?
I'm warming up in case I get to take them out at American Family Field. Read this.
Win the ultimate baseball fan experience at Century Foods?
You either get to throw out the first pitch, hold the finish line for the famous racing sausages, or be on the field during batting practice. My new TV!
Just doing a little batting practice of my own.
The ultimate baseball fan experience. Return the entry form found in the weekly ad to any Century by July 24th.
Are you tired of looking at a dirty, dusty, and cracked garage and looking for a fresh new look? Hi, this is ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Latta, and I'm here to tell you about Floor Shield by Showtime Floors. Using a state-of-the-art coating 4 times stronger than traditional epoxy, it's tough enough to be used in military bases and airports. Floor Shield is certified as an anti-slip floor and also eco-friendly, all while being UV stable, and my favorite part, easy to clean. This makes it perfect for outdoor spaces, just like your patio. Check it out at ShowtimeFloors.com and work with a specialist to transform your space in as little as 1 day.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
And then you have Raj, who I didn't think he just didn't have the body type of a right tackle.
I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question. Who the hell are you talking about?
What's his name? Yash.
Raj?
Like, I was thinking, okay,
Who's Raj? You tell us, buddy.
On 94.5 ESPN.
You guys have heard me talk about Professional Construction Inc. over the years. They have helped us out tremendously. Let's see. We had the woodpecker incident where the woodpecker was putting holes in our siding. We had the balcony incident where our balcony was leaking water into our kitchen. And, of course, they finished our basement for us. The folks over at PCI know what they are doing. That's why we recommend them so highly for your next remodeling project, your home addition, or maybe you're thinking about building a new home. I talked to Michelle yesterday. I told her I heard their new commercial on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee where they say that their family is expanding, and Mike gets all nervous because he's like, we sold all of our baby stuff. And Michelle's like, not us, our team. They need construction crews. If you are somebody who is a carpenter and can lead a crew, you need to contact them at professionalconstructioninc.com. Let them know that you are interested. They are a great family-owned company to work for. They believe in building relationships and doing exceptional work on your project. Reach out to my friends over at PCI, professionalconstructioninc.com, professionalconstructioninc.com. I have a feeling Sophia Minner might be on my side as far as Willy Adames being the most likable guy in Milwaukee right now outside of Bob Uecker. Because Bob Uecker wins all of those polls if you put Bob Uecker on the poll. Deservedly so. I'm not saying Bob Uecker shouldn't win the polls. I'm simply saying that Willy Adames yesterday, hitting the game winner obviously is a big part of it. But there's just something about his personality that is so freaking likable. I think he might not be beating Giannis. I'm willing to admit that. But he's making a charge.
Is he?
Coming on.
Have you looked at the poll results so far?
I have not.
Doesn't look like he's making a dent.
I prefer to remain ignorant.
Okay, all right.
to what is being done on the polls right now. Sophia Minnaert is going to join Jen, Gabe, and Chewy in just a moment. We'll talk all things Brewers and see if she's ever seen anything like we saw last night at the ballpark, opposing fans encouraging Willy Adames to hit the game winner, and then he hits the game winner, and he's giving them baseballs, and they're yucking it up. We'll talk to Sophia right after this on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
We've got delays along westbound 894, pretty much through the construction zone, out of the Mitchell interchange all the way to about 76th Street, northbound 4394. That's going to start to slow down right around Howard Avenue all the way up to Oklahoma Avenue. Northbound 43, slow out of the Marquette all the way to Keefe with the southbound side. Heavy pocket from Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol Drive. Eastbound 94, slowing from 84th Street through the Stadium interchange to 27th. The westbound side slow out of the Marquette all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Traffic is brought to you by the Club at Lac La Belle. The historic course is open to the public 7 days a week. Schedule your tee time at clubatlaclabelle.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, partly cloudy skies and afternoon lake breeze, a high of 71 at the lake, 75 inland. Tonight, showers developing, a low of 47. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here, and there is one thing I think everyone can agree on. Potholes stink. And this year's weather will make it one of the worst years yet. Well, Johnson & Sons Paving is ready to take on the challenge with a team that has over 2 decades of experience. When the potholes pop up in your asphalt, Johnson & Sons Paving can patch or replace the whole area. Book an appointment now at johnsonsonspaving.com. Get that appointment booked before May 31st, and you might even see Old T on the job site for a visit. Find full contest details at ESPNWisconsinContest.com.
At Progressive, we know money can't buy you happiness, but money did help you buy an RV, which means an excuse from working Saturday with your insufferable coworker, Dave. So money is helping you listen to birds chirp instead of Dave chirping about how his toddler is fluent in 3 languages. And it's also why you'll be smelling pine trees in the air, not Dave's tuna melt reheating in a microwave. So save money by bundling your RV or boat insurance with home or auto from Progressive and buy more happiness, or something close to it. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
I need directions for paying down debt.
Starting route. Apply for a SoFi personal loan and consolidate your debt into one fixed payment. Turn right into a positive outlook and get $5,000 to $100,000 as soon as the same day you sign, with no fees required.
Got it. You could get out of high-interest credit card debt with a SoFi personal loan. View your rate at SoFi.com/debt in 60 seconds with no impact to your credit score. Loans originated by SoFi Bank N.A. Member FDIC. Terms and conditions at SoFi.com/debt. NMLS 696891.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
It started with a prediction.
We'll go out there and play basketball and win. And how many games? 6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your Culture podcasts.
That's for the culture.
From the latest happenings on the diamond.
Look, this team, they will find a lot of ways to surprise you. And I think the fact of like how they got here, how they won so many games.
To all the insight and expertise on things outside the ballpark.
I guess what lead feels safe to you as the Brewers wrap up the final month-ish of the year?
Clinched feels safe to me.
Yeah, at least 7 with 6 to play, something like that.
Yeah.
We only turn to one person. Batter up. It's Sophia Minnaert on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Brought to you by Century Foods. Win the ultimate baseball fan experience at Century Foods. Return the entry form found in the weekly ad to any Century by July 24th. Century Foods, the best meat in town.
We love chatting with Sophia Minnaert each and every Wednesday here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Good morning, Sophia. How are you doing after last night's drama?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Definitely one of the more memorable moments of the season.
And we were trying to figure out how often something like that happens, where opposing fans are encouraging a guy to go yard in his final likely at-bat. Gabe was convinced that this is a Willy Adames thing, right? This only happens because Willy Adames is who he is. He's incredibly likable. He's incredibly personable. And by the end of the game, he had basically just won those guys over.
You know, I had kind of thought the same thing. Like, I'm like, this is just who Willy is. He is just like so likable, so much energy. He chats with virtually every human on the field. He's always chatting with the umpires. He's chatting with the opposing team, fans. It's like that part was not surprising. And then when we talked to Reese Hoskins after the game, he said that those fans were kind of chirping at everybody. So it didn't feel like it was exclusively with Willy, but definitely not surprising that Willy could win over an opposing fan base.
As impressive as that home run was, I'm also really impressed with Trevor McGill and the way he just mowed everybody down in the ninth inning. He just came in. He was super efficient. I know it's kind of been closer by committee, but what are the chances that McGill has the ninth inning for the long term?
Well, I thought you were going to say you were impressed that he caught Willy's homer as he was getting ready for that ninth inning.
That was also impressive.
That's where I thought you were going with that. Yeah, Trevor was just like right place, right time. He was getting ready for the ninth just in case, and lucky for him, he got Willy's home run ball. So, but yeah, I mean, look, that's what you want, right? You get a huge moment like that. I mean, just totally flips the game upside down. The Brewers, I mean, they had been down to their final strike in William Contreras' at bat. So William gets on with the double, then Gary Sanchez works the walk, and then that set up the chance for Willy. So, I mean, there were multiple times there where you thought, like, okay, this could be it. And then Trevor, I mean, to have as efficient of an inning as he did, it was like less than 15 pitches, I think. It gave them no chance to breathe and, like, no chance to even get anything going again, which is what you want your closer to do in that situation, right? Because a moment like that is so deflating to the other team, obviously to the fans that are there in the stadium. So yeah, I think Trevor handled that really well, and he has gotten save opportunities. To your point of like what is going to happen here moving forward. You know, especially without Abner Uribe now that he got optioned back to AAA, I think McGill would probably be a primary option. Yoel Payamps could still be a great option. And honestly, depending on matchups, it wouldn't surprise me if Murph went to any of the lefties at some point, the way that Brian Hudson is pitching the ball.
Sophia, for those who haven't been following you on social media, give us an update on Christian Yelich. It's been about 3 weeks since he went out with the back injury, but it sounds like he's making progress.
He's making great progress. Yeah, the last 2 days have been the best he's had. He had been doing a lot on the field, but the last 2 days for him to finally get on the field and start taking BP, that was the final piece that was missing. So they could be making a decision as soon as today, if not tomorrow or Friday, when the team gets back to play St. Louis. So it's been longer definitely than what Christian was anticipating and longer than what the team was hoping for, but he's ready. And so it's just a matter of when they'll get him in there, and I anticipate he'll be DHing quite a bit to start.
a lot has been made throughout the course of this season, and Nike has now come out and said that they're going to fix the issue. It's not going to be completely fixed till next year. Have the Brewers noticed, have they said anything kind of behind the scenes about the uniforms this year?
Yeah, I think it's spring training, honestly. It was more of a story of like when everyone was just getting to camp and getting kind of their hands on everything and wearing everything and seeing how it all felt. Nothing has changed since spring training. So I think they'll tell you that just, the material is definitely different than what they've used in the past. I think they try to make it more breathable, but for the players, it feels a little bit more flimsy. It's like that dry fit technology. And, if you're a heavy sweater, like some of these guys are, as we get deeper into summer, that could be an issue. We've definitely seen some of the pants rip. I think some of them don't like the fit of the pants. I mean, we could go on and on and on. And some of these things are very subjective too, right? Like some players are more particular about their fit of their jerseys and their uniform than others. So Nike did bring in, I'm blanking on the word. Basically, they brought in people to sort of try to fit the jerseys better to the players, especially some of the established players. So they did leave some room for like some individual tweaking there. But I think, overall, I think people are in agreement that there's room for improvement there.
Yeah, that was one of the biggest areas where they kind of seemed to cut costs or cut corners. It used to be fully customizable. If you wanted your left sleeve to be a 1/4 inch longer, Shooter McGavin style than the other side, they would acquiesce. They would do that. And then this year was the first year where they were like, no, it's like,
here's your large.
Right.
Here's your extra large.
You get a tall and you get a venti, and you know what I mean? Like they were not making those those very specific changes for guys' uniforms. And I think that kind of irritated a lot of people. They were like, no, part of it is
the major leagues.
Correct. Like and especially because that had been established. So I am very interested to see how quickly they are able to get this all rectified and get it back to the standard that we have come to expect from Major League Baseball. Want to talk about the guy who will be on the hill today. Is it Joe Ross? Is Joe Ross getting the start from Milwaukee?
He is, yeah.
And he's 0-3 in his past 4 starts. So what's been going on with him?
Yeah, he's an interesting arm for the Brewers because he's had 2 Tommy John surgeries. He had come up as a huge prospect, a former first-round draft pick. He had been with the Washington Nationals, so he was in that era of like Max Scherzer and Steven Strasburg and that group, which Brewers fans will remember from 2019. So he was like forced into a very competitive environment, and fans might remember his older brother, Tyson Ross, who pitched in the big leagues for a long time. I think his longest tenure was with the San Diego Padres. But Joe, this is really his first season in 2 years where he's been fully healthy. He has this kind of opportunity of being in the starting rotation. His stuff is really, really good. I mean, he's built up physically. He's a big, strong guy. The velocity for him has started to tick up where it's mid-90s again, where he wants to be. He's just figuring out command of kind of everything else. So it's a lot of, sinker, slider, fastball. He has had issues with walks before, and honestly, just some tough luck. Like I think through his first 5 starts, he had given up, I think, 16 hits, and only one of them was an extra base hit. So he's definitely a guy like a Colin Ray, like a Wade Miley, with how he pitches. He pitches to contact, and so there can be good and bad luck involved in that. He's been sort of on the bad side of the luck so far, it feels like. But he definitely has stuff that can overpower you at times. So I really think this is an arm that they really believe in. They need him because he's one of the 3 healthy starters that they're down to right now. So, yeah, I think I'm excited for him to take the ball today and see what he can do.
Are they kind of hoping to be fully healthy and maybe have that lineup, whether it's Arms, whether it's Yelich, whether it's Mitchell, kind of by that next series against the Cubs is Memorial Day, or is it still going to be some time longer for, I mean, obviously Wade's out for the rest of the season because he needed Tommy John, but are they kind of expecting to be pretty much full health by the end of the month?
Well, definitely not with Garrett Mitchell. I mean, you should get Christian Yelich back here again within the next day, if not tomorrow. And then Garrett is still got a ways away because he's on the 60-day IL, and he's not doing any on-field activity yet. He's been doing kind of some one-arm swings in the cage. He's been doing a lot of conditioning and strengthening, but it's been a slower progression for him. And then for Devin Williams, I think you're still looking at the All-Star break for him. Jacob Junis is on the 60-day IL, so he's a bit behind. So when you say fully healthy, I think we've still got a ways to go. But I think, look, this team would absolutely love to get Christian Yelich back on the lineup because of what that does for everybody else at the top. And it just takes pressure off of everybody else at the bottom. So I think getting him back is like the biggest first step to getting back on the health front.
Last thing for you, Sophia, before we let you go. We started the show this morning talking about sneezing. I have an issue where I sneeze multiple times. Not one, not two, not three LeBron, but more like 12, 13, 14 times in a row. I think my record is 26. So yesterday, Dario and I are driving. Oh, my. Yes. Yesterday, Dario and I are driving home from lunch, and I'm having a sneezels attack. And he says, I know why you're sneezing so much. You're sneezing wrong. I'm like, hey, it's an involuntary action, but I don't know how you do it wrong. He said I was sneezing out of my mouth instead of my nose. When you sneeze, do you sneeze primarily out of your mouth or out of your nose?
Oh, my gosh. I can't say I've ever thought about this.
This is why you come on the show, Sophia, so we can ask you the tough questions, the hard-hitting questions.
I know. I haven't even had coffee yet. I think out of my nose, right? You sneeze out because you cover your nose? You kind of cover your mouth,
What do you mean
too.
you cover your nose? You're telling me growing up in your house, your parents told you after you sneezed, hey, Sophia, you should be covering your nose? No, they say cover your mouth.
Just for funsies, go ahead and show me what a cover your nose looks. I know we can't see you. You're in your hotel room in Kansas City, but just for funsies while you're on the phone with us, could you cover your nose and just tell me how ridiculous you feel?
I think I basically cover my nose and my mouth, honestly. You guys don't do that?
Well, I mean, it's more of the mouth, and the nose kind of gets some coverage, but you're using your wing. You're sneezing into your elbow.
True. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I'm covering both. Maybe I'm going double coverage.
Next time you sneeze, will you try to remember? Again, we recognize that this is one of those involuntary. What was the word we used this morning that I didn't know? Spasmodic?
Spasmodic.
I was close. Wow. Spasmodic. It's a spasmodic activity, which means spaz. You're not really controlling it. But next time, will you just take a moment and think of Jen, Gabe, and Chewy and say, wait, hold on. Am I sneezing through my mouth or am I sneezing through my nose?
I just want to be, what is Dario's theory that you're doing it wrong by sneezing out of your
mouth. So he's saying that the reason I'm sneezing multiple times is because I'm not clearing whatever it is that is, tickling my nose or tickling my nose hairs or whatever it is. And I'm not expelling it because I'm not sneezing through my nose. I'm only sneezing through my mouth.
Huh. Okay. All right.
But you can't. Again, it's involuntary. I think the point is you can't do it's coming out of both. You can't just stop it coming out of your mouth or nose.
Gabe made a really good point this morning, Sophia. He says, how do you say achoo?
Yeah, that is the other part. The sound for a sneeze comes, through your mouth.
Okay. But it seems like Dario's
not buying it.
Yeah. I mean, maybe she's saying, maybe she's chewing through her nose.
You're doing it through both.
So Sophia is firmly in the both camp. Yeah. And can you tell she's getting frustrated with us too? She's like, these are idiots, absolute morons. Get me off of this call. Sophia, we will mercifully let you off of the call. Have a great game today. And then we will see you back at AmFam Field this weekend when the Brewers host the Cardinals for a Mother's Day weekend series.
All right. Well, I love you guys. I love being on this show because you make me think about things that I've never even thought about. So thank you. Thank you for that little brain twister here early this morning. But,
she said it like it was a compliment, Gabe.
I can't wait to get the text 3 weeks from now.
I'm sneezing.
It's just either nose or mouth. It's just going to be one word, all caps. We know what Sophia's doing.
She's Sophia Minner. You can see her on Bally Sports Wisconsin. She will be on the broadcast today as the Brewers have the rubber match against Kansas City.
You know how much Chewy and I love the Jewelry Center. Usually when the big guy's here, he's talking about how he loves to go to the Jewelry Center to make his wife happy. I talk about the Jewelry Center and how they helped me out by helping me pick out what was the perfect engagement ring for me. They know what they're doing when it comes to those diamond engagement rings. The Jewelry Center offering great deals, selection with both lab-grown and naturally mined diamonds for rings. So the Jewelry Center is going to have some great options because of the team that Dean, the dancing machine, has put together over there at the Jewelry Center. Their helpful staff always going to point you in the right direction when it comes to those diamond engagement rings. And of course, you know they're going to have options. Stop in at one of their locations, Brookfield, Greenfield, or in Burlington. Check out the full inventory online at shoptjc.com and make sure you tell them that Gabe and Chewy sent you.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
The Jen, Gabe, and Chewy podcast is sponsored by Celsius Energy Drink, and I am here to tell you it makes a huge difference in my mornings. With a unique blend of essential energy and key vitamins, Celsius is your partner to an active lifestyle. My favorite, the Peach Vibe. Learn more at Celsius.com and pick up Celsius Energy Drinks today.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
It took me a while to figure out my mom is more than the mom stuff she did for me. More than the laundry, cooking, and driving. She's got a whole life outside of motherhood, whether it was helping my dad start a small business, volunteering. My mom's job was a pastor, so while I'm playing games, she quite literally was saving lives. She's a superhero, not just to me, but to so many others. And so that's why this Mother's Day, I want to give Mom her flowers. She deserves the best. That's why I'm sending her farm fresh flowers from Books. That's short for bouquets. And I got you with 25% off your entire Books purchase so you can send some too. Here's why I like the Books company. Books is different. Their flowers are cut fresh and sourced directly from the best flower farms, so they last way longer. They even have flowers growing on the side of a volcano. Mother's Day is May 12th, so don't miss your chance to thank your mom. Order your Books now. And with 25% off, you can send some to mom, the wife, auntie, and even grandma. Go to Books.com and use promo code CANTY for 25% off. That's BOUQS.com, promo code CANTY. Books, promo code CANTY.
The Vollrath Company implemented a DocuWare content management solution from James Imaging Systems. Vollrath Director of Information Systems, John Sharp.
They've helped us upgrade from a previous version of our document management to automate our accounts payable processes, to store the invoices, to the three-way match, and really streamline those processes.
In addition to a DocuWare content management solution, the key to continued success is the James Imaging Systems Solutions Group.
And as an extension of our team, they've got intimate knowledge of why we've done some of the things that we do. And when we run into any issues, they're there to support us.
A DocuWare content management solution from the James Imaging Systems Solutions Group.
They know exactly where we are in our project cycle so that we've always got continuous improvement.
Content management and workflow automation from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
All Brewers games are on sale now. Coming up, a divisional battle with the Cardinals Thursday, May 9th through Sunday, the 12th. Make your Saturday night plans for Star Wars night. Then take home a Mother's Day Brewers belt bag giveaway at the game on Sunday, the 12th. Presented by American Family Insurance. Don't miss out on a weekend of rivalry baseball. Grab your seats at brewers.com/tickets.
Evan Cohen here from Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Radio for True Green. Are you ready to elevate your lawn game without breaking the bank? True Green has been the trusted choice for over 2 million homeowners for over 50 years. Visit TrueGreen.com and discover the easiest and affordable way to achieve a pro-level lawn guaranteed. Plus, enjoy True Green's verified price matching, ensuring you get the best lawn for the best price. Visit TrueGreen.com and transform your lawn effortlessly. That's TrueGreen.com. Your dream lawn is just around the corner. We all know breakfast is an important part of your day, but sometimes when you're traveling for business, you end up staying at a hotel that doesn't offer any. You know what happens? You grab a cup of coffee and skip the meal entirely. We've all been there. But if you book a room at La Quinta by Wyndham, you can enjoy their free Bright Side breakfast featuring delicious baked goods, fruit, eggs, yogurt, and waffles. And really, who doesn't want to start their day with a fresh, hot waffle? Tonight, La Quinta, tomorrow you shine. Book direct at LQ.com.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Unbelievable that they ran all over this vaunted defense,
Why
this
did we
elite
drink the Kool-Aid?
defense.
What Kool-Aid?
Why? It was poop Kool-Aid, and we gobbled it down.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Here we go.
Let's go out with a bang. I'm way too young to lie here forever. I'm way too old to try, so whatever, come hang.
Who's on first?
Gabe and I arguing about the clock right now. Whether you're a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. The hotel is ideally located in the heart of the theater district in downtown Milwaukee with deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site art galleries, and nightly live music. You'll enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. Book special hotel packages with room rates starting as low as $129 a night. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com. That's stkatearts.com. Okay. Todd weighing in saying, like Dario, I have told my wife she sneezes wrong as well. It's not your endless sneezes. It's like she's trying to keep them in. I always say, you don't know how to sneeze. It should be free-flowing, party popper-like. Party popper? Party pooper?
No,
Party
popper. Because you know those things that you
pull the string.
Pull the string and poof.
Oh, that's what your sneeze should be like.
Correct.
Yeah, I do that. I'm not one of these. That's not my sneeze. I do a full. I don't want to do it in.
Yeah.
I do a full-fledged sneeze.
Oh, we've seen it.
Yeah, exactly. But again, there's multiple.
You're not holding back.
There's many, 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 many of them in a row, which led Dario to say, I know why you're sneezing so much. You're sneezing wrong. Murphy Masher's weighing in saying, for those of us with allergies and a good amount of nasal mucus, there's a fun combo of words for the morning radio. Choosing to sneeze through the nose, especially in public, makes for a very, very messy situation. I aim a sneeze out of my mouth for the benefit of all people in my vicinity. Wow, that is talent. Because again, I have conditioned myself to believe that a sneeze is involuntary, right? Like, again, there are different levels. We just talked about the person who sneezes and tries to control them. You can certainly try to control the force and velocity of the sneeze, but for the most part, your body just does it.
I feel like that anytime I've tried to hold in a sneeze as it's coming, I feel like that ends up just hurting me. I feel like physical pain from trying to like hold it back because the force is trying to come out and I'm trying to fight it to keep it in.
Where
It's
does
just
it
not
hurt?
bad.
Like in your chest?
Yeah, kind of chest, like your cheeks, like everything, your neck a little bit.
Big time. We have a tweet here from, where can I find it? Brian, I just sneezed twice. First with my mouth open and it was great. Secondly with my mouth closed and I sneezed and farted. I believe the mouth closed.
Well, it's scientific. That's
There's pressure on both
the pressure's got to come out of somewhere, so might as well keep that mouth open when you're sneezing, people. That's the lesson to be learned here.
We did put it on the poll this morning. A sneeze mostly comes out of the mouth or the nose. 65% of people are saying it comes out of the mouth. 34% of people saying it comes out of mostly the nose.
34% of people are wrong.
I just cannot get down with the idea that I should be sneezing out of my nose. It's just, I can't.
Well, okay, let's say, for argument's sake, that these idiots are right. How are you going to start sneezing out of your nose?
I'm going to try next time. I'm going to, I feel a sneeze coming on. I'm going to actively try to sneeze
Do it in private.
out of my nose.
Yeah, because I don't want to know what happens when that,
But I have to tell you what happens. I mean,
well, sure.
research.
I just don't need to watch or hear or see.
This reminds me of the Seinfeld episode with Good Naked and Bad Naked. Wasn't sneezing one of them?
Sneezing is one of them, yeah.
Bad
Sneezing,
naked,
coughing,
right?
all the
Because
muscles.
of all the mini muscles that convulse.
Like when the fat guy gets hit by the cannonball in slow motion.
Trying to suppress a sneeze will give you a brain aneurysm. That from Stevie in the 414.
Seems bad.
Stevie, not a doctor,
Seems
but
bad.
Which of these three Packers-related bets would you put your money on? Jordan Love MVP, Packers win the North, Packers over 9.5 wins. 48% of people are with you, Gabe. They're putting their money on the Packer over 9.5 wins at minus 134. A $10 bet wins you 17. And Which Wisconsin athlete is more likable, Giannis or Willy Adames? You know what? We'll get to those poll results tomorrow.
Oh, wait for it to go final before we declare a winner. I see.
Will do it. Tausch is next on ESPN Milwaukee.
Still got some delays on southbound 43 as you're making your way down from before Hampton Avenue down